How's it going, everybody? My name is Justin,
I'm Jody.
and we are Board Game Perspective, and today we're going to be taking a look at Ion, a compound building game from Genius Games. And this game plays anywhere between 2 and 7 players, and it's a fun little card drafting style game where you are trying to build molecules by finding the different charges on the molecules, on the cards, and you're trying to balance them out so that they aren't
They're neutral.
they're neutral, essentially, basically. And when you get neutral compounds, then you are gaining points throughout the game. So we're going to take a quick look at this thing, and we're going to come right back up and tell you guys our thoughts.
So I have this set up for the base game. So there's no action tiles and no expansion cards, but I'll show you those later on in this video. So you have the basic score track with your score markers here. You have the element card deck. And each player will receive 8 cards, so this player has 8 cards to start. Then you have the compound cards where you will place out 3. So this game is played over 3 rounds, and each round is going to consist of players picking a card and then passing. So let's say this player wants to choose this one, so play that face down, and then everyone else around the table will also choose one, play it face down. And then once everyone has done that, everybody will reveal their card in their play area and pass the cards around the table. And players will continue picking a card and passing until everyone has only 2 cards in their hand. At that point, everybody will discard those 2 cards and will trigger the end of that round. There are 2 main types of element cards. So you're going to have some element cards that have either positive or negative charges. And then you also have the group of cards that are noble gases, and those will have the purple banners. Now the goal of the game is to create neutrally charged compounds. So if you look at this one here, this magnesium, it has a positive 2 charge. So in order to create a neutral charge, we have to get 2 more negatives. So that cancels out and it has a neutral charge. Now whenever you have neutral charge compound there, that will allow you to score points. Now you also have these noble gas cards, and these are already neutrally charged and will score points without bonding. Now these will score based off of how many different kinds of noble gas cards you have. So let's say this is what the player had at the end of the first round. So let's go ahead and score these. So because this is a neutral compound, we can score these cards here. So this would be 8, 9, 10, 11 points for that set right there. Then you have 2 different kinds of noble gas cards, and for a set of 2 that are different, you get 5 points. If we just had one by itself, it would be 2 points, and if we had 3 different kinds, that would be 9 points. Now this card over here is just a 1 positive charge, so it is not a neutral charged card, so this will not score anything. However, if there was this card on top of that, that is a neutral charge and would have been, but it wasn't. In addition to your element cards that you score, you can also score from compound cards at the end of each round. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the different compounds, and if you have achieved one of these, you can score those points. Now, for our example, we did not score either of those or have either of those compounds. We did, however, have this compound, but we did not have this one. If you just complete one compound on one of these cards, you will score the top points. If you completed both, you would score 7 points. So for this example, we had only done this, so it'd be 3 points. Now this one we didn't score as well because this required all 3 different noble gas cards and we had only 2. After scoring for the first round is over, everybody will get their cards and you will reshuffle and basically start like you did at the beginning, put out new compound cards, and you will repeat this for 3 rounds. And after 3 rounds, you'll do the final scoring, and whoever has the most points at that point is the winner. Now there are advanced game rules that you can play with, which come with additional tiles that you're going to play with and some additional cards. If you do play the advanced game, there is additional setups such as putting out 4 element cards in the center of the play area. So with the tiles, each player will have a set of 3, and each of them will allow you to do different abilities. And if you use one, you have to flip it over. Now this one, select 2, will allow players to pick and place 2 element cards from their hand instead of 1. However, before you pass the hand of cards, you're going to have to add a new element card from the deck back to that hand. Now, take from center is just simply picking one element card from the center here and putting it in your play area. And then this one will allow you to rearrange any or all of your element cards in your play area and also take one element card from the center of the table or the discard pile. In playing with the transition metal cards, this will allow you to choose which side you want to use. So for instance, this side has a +2 charge here and would be worth 5 points if you created a neutral compound with that card. You could also, however, flip it 180 degrees and decide to use this one, which is a +3 charge and worth 7 points. And then you have these polyatomic ion cards, and these will be used the same way you're trying to create neutral compound cards. However, if you create a neutral compound and with one of these, then this allows you to flip over one of the tiles you might have already used. And lastly, there are radioactive element cards, which is used in 3 to 7 player games, so not a 2-player game. And these will score points at the end of a round and at the end of the game. And they will score a varying number of points depending on how many total players revealed them each turn. And you will be deciding those on whether it's a face-up card, rotated 90 degrees, or face-down cards. And there's a chart in the rule book that shows you how many points you will score for each.
Alright guys, so there you have it. That was Ion, a compound building game, and I thought it was kind of neat. It was really simple, nothing really complex about it. It was pretty straightforward and easy to get a grasp of, and I thought it was a nice little kind of teaching tool for sure, but I think that if somebody's kind of new to gaming, this would also be something that could entertain you for at least a few rounds or a few games.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, definitely more entry level. This one isn't my favorite just because it's kind of, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just maybe a little too basic for me. Like it's just kind of, a couple plays and I think I'm probably good to go with this game. But it definitely, like you said, could be a good educational tool. The box says ages 8 and up. Or an entry level. Yeah. And now I will say, I mean, I absolutely love the way these cards look. Mm-hmm. I mean, the way it just really draws me in. It's just great design. Yeah, good design, good contrast. It just kind of everything pops off the table. Yeah, and the transition metal cards it's cool how you can flip it to make it whatever you want. I absolutely love the way they look. Yeah, I agree. I think they nailed it with how the game looks, how it plays. I liked it. I think I liked it more than Jody did, just because I like sitting down here a little bit. Jody likes being up here a little bit. So, but that's just me. So I actually enjoyed the game. I don't know if I would play it over and over and over again or anything like that, but it was definitely something that was enjoyable to me. Yeah. So that is our thoughts about Ion, a compound building game. So if this looks like something you might be interested in, go ahead and check it out. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. So happy gaming!